皆さん、こんにちは。ヘナです。今日、メダリスト第16話を見ています。先週の週末は、スケーティングのエキシビションをしていました。遅くなってごめんなさい。見てくれてありがとうございます。What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel and to another video. Today we are reacting to Medalist Season 2, Episode 3, so Episode 16. I am very late and I apologize. For the record, this one and the next one will be late because I am back into skating. This weekend I had a skating exhibition. Next weekend I will be competing. And it takes a lot of energy and focus to be able to skate well, so I have to take a pause from doing any recording on the weekends right now while I go through all of this. I do not have a video from this weekend's exhibition, but I hope to share some of my results and skating stuff with you in the next episode, which will be after I have competed. Also, the Olympics started and we just finished the team event and it was oh so close. Team USA did take home the gold. Team Japan was in second with just 1 point margin. It was so incredible all the way to the end. So many athletes just did their absolute best. It was such a fun event to watch. I am both happy with the results and also sad for Team Japan. I think they really stepped up to the plate, but in the end, it just evened out to where USA ended up with the gold, but it was so close and so exciting. But I do actually have limited time because I am recording on my lunch break, so we're gonna dive right in, but before we do, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment your thoughts. Oh, also, if this is your first time, hi, hello, welcome, my name is Hannah. Obviously, I'm a competitive figure skater because I just talked about that skating, but I actually retired when I was like 23. I decided to come back at 28, and here I am about to compete for the first time in 7 years. So you can say I know a thing or two about skating. This is not a regular reaction. It is my first time watching, so you will certainly see reactions out of me, but I also will be pausing a lot and talking about skating, so that's what these kinds of reactions look like. I'm a little bit out of sorts because this is just not my regular schedule, but let's just dive in now, okay? Let's start the episode. I also noticed that my camera keeps not focusing on me, but I need enough room to put the episode right here in editing, so I try to remove some of the stuff back here because it just like wasn't sure what to focus on, I guess. So we'll see if that helps, and I apologize for that because as I edit it, I'm like, that's really annoying. The Queen's Leap. All right, here we go. I think INORI is gonna be competing. I don't know. It might be one of those like the last. That's the cliffhanger. So right off the bat, the background that they have in this is very clearly from the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. Like the coloring, you can't really read the signs, but that's very clearly the colors. Like the design on the boards there is exactly what it was like for the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. So a while ago, 16 years ago. I like that. So detailed. All right, we're getting some backstory on her. That would be crazy. If Ashley Widener had been like, I'm gonna coach you, I would have passed out. I would have fainted. That's a lot of expectations to be his first student. All right. But Hikaru showed up and suddenly was better than you. Yeah, it messes with your brain so much. I experienced this, like when I was just competing, like these skaters would show up and I would help them and then all of a sudden they would be better than me. And it's like, what? Like that's so soul crushing. And the same thing happened to Rio. Like Hikaru is INORI is very different. INORI looks at it as an opportunity to grow and to catch her, while these skaters who like started before Hikaru at her rink are just watching her pass up. That makes anyone feel very unconfident. Okay. I can't believe I'm doing this in 5 days. What am I doing? Oh yeah, he doesn't know that they're there for INORI. Well, they're there for Tsukasa. Oh, we don't even know what happened in this warm-up. We're just going right into it, okay. Okay, I think Yuna was the one I was seeing in the opening, not Yotsa. That one statement, skating is not a sport that you get better just by working hard. It does favor the talented people too, and she knows that. It's kind of late in the warm-up group. I also hate doing late. Late in the warm-up group also sucks. I hope I'm skating like second this weekend. That's the best. Is this inside of INORI's brain? Oh. This is just how she handles. Okay. It's okay. She has a very strange way of keeping herself calm too. Relax. You're one and the same. You're two peas in a pod. It's fine. She's got a name for herself already. It is so nerve-wracking being a coach. I've said this so many times, when I watch skating and when I coach skating, I feel so much more nervous. Like, I get nervous for my own skating, absolutely, but I can handle it because I control it. When I was sending out my own skaters, I would be like, ah, but I'd have to like act calm to keep them calm. And when I'm watching skating, oh my gosh, it's a nightmare. When Amber Glenn skates, I have to pace. I have to like grab onto things. It's so terrifying. My heart is pounding. I feel like I can't breathe. It's something different when you are watching a skater that you can't control how they skate. You're just there to watch and support them, and you're so invested in them, but at the end of the day, it's up to them. You feel this like lack of control that makes it so much harder to watch. Tsukasa and I are like two peas in a pod. Yep, you gotta stay calm, Tsukasa. This is so over the top, it's so funny. He is the ultimate social bubble popper. That's not what's going on, girl. Poor Tsukasa. So she might be INORI's toughest competition here. Oh my goodness. Konnichiwa! I love the character development. Okay, he's still being... Shrimp? Tempura popped under her head when she was... I'm dead. I love this show. But that'll be my spot. It's competition. I'm not gonna get to see INORI skate in this episode, am I? I'm gonna have to wait until next week after I compete. 67. It's not the best. And she's out of it. Oh. Well, and she's guaranteed to qualify now. Okay, yeah, she's the one who I've seen a bunch of clips of her. All right. I need to look up his voice actor. I recognize it. Yep, she's special. She's the MC too, so. I mean, honestly, like, I know these skaters want to win, but sometimes you just gotta be like, I gotta qualify. But I understand, like, being the winner of the qualification competition, you go into the national championships with, like, the judges now know who you are. Like, people got their eye on you, and in this sport, there is a level of reputation within the judging, especially once you start to get to those higher levels, where the more, like, you have a reputation, the more the judges know about you, the more likely they are to give you maybe an extra GOE, maybe an extra half a point in components, and that adds up very quickly. So on one hand, it's like, it is a healthy perspective to just be like, I want to qualify. Like, that's how I feel going into my sectional competition, which is a month away. At the end of the day, I don't know if I'm going to be able to qualify because my section's very competitive and I'm, like, running at a pretty low base value, but I do want to qualify. Like, that is my goal. Winning would be great, but that's like, that would be the cherry on top. So it's like, you got to have that balance. Sometimes you find skaters that are so hell-bent on winning, they get so focused on that one goal that it becomes very difficult for them to actually do it. I'm slightly worried about Kaori Sakamoto. I really want her to win. And I say this as someone who is American, who knows the American skaters better. I follow American skating more because it's easier because of where I'm located. I love Alyssa Liu, I love Amber Glenn, but I want Kaori Sakamoto to win the Olympics because she has this drive. She is the best in the world. She's faster. She's a better jumper. Like, she just is overall the better package. She keeps saying, I don't want anything but gold. And I get a little bit worried that she's going to let a couple of mistakes pop through because she's so hell-bent on getting that gold, which I understand why she wants it. She's been pretty much on top of the world this entire 4 years since the end of the Olympics last time. And she was very happy for Alyssa Liu when Alyssa won the World Championships last year, but she said, like, she doesn't want to feel like that anymore. She wants to win. So on one hand, she has that grit and she has that determination, but on the other hand, I'm, like, nervous that she, first of all, used up all of her energy on the team event because she skated really freaking well in the team event. She made one mistake, but in the free skate or in the individual event, she doesn't have that room for error because, like, all 3 US women are right there. The other 2 Japanese women are right there. And we have the wild card that is the individual athlete from Russia. Like, there's just so much going on in the individual event that I'm like, I'm excited that she's so vocal about wanting to win the gold, but I'm also, like, nervous that it's gonna get inside her head because in a perfect world, she wins the Olympic gold medal, and then that's her retirement. Like, go out on literally the best placement you can ever get. There is nothing better than winning the Olympics. That is everyone's ultimate goal in this sport. There is nothing you can do better, except for win it a second time, which she's not going for because she's done after this. She's already said it. So, long tangent way of saying, like, you gotta be careful when you're so hell-bent on winning. Sometimes then you get tight. And Alyssa Liu is right there. Like, it's the kind of thing where, like, if Kaori makes 2 mistakes in the free skate, 2 small mistakes, Alyssa will step into that role. So in this case, it's like you're qualifying, so be a little bit nicer to yourself. Focus on winning all Japans. Just focus on qualifying here. But I understand the reputation. And it seems to be much more intense here than sectionals here is, so. Triple let's double loop, that's a big combo. You just gotta believe in your training in situations like this. It can be terrifying. It can be so hard to rely on your training when you're competing. Okay. We might get INORI in this, or is it gonna cut halfway? Okay, I'm gonna stop predicting and just let it go. I was wondering if they were gonna get, like, the rights to Pirates of the Caribbean or something. It's a very common score to skate to, but it seems like it's not that. Triple, let's double loop. All right. Uh-oh. That's never a good sign. Hikaru got all the... It helps in making sense to why she wants to win so bad. She's been living in Hikaru's shadow this entire time now, since she started. She did. Okay, so something that I noticed when I was watching the last episode is that sometimes with animation, like I was calling something a triple, but it was just a double because like it's pretty difficult to tell with animation. I can tell the doubles and triples and quads apart in real life. Sometimes animation makes it tough. So I was like, oh, it's probably like a triple-let's double loop. Nope, she did a triple-let's triple loop, which for the record is something that Alyssa Liu is doing at the Olympics. So very freaking difficult. If you do it well, it's worth like 12.5 points. Huge. They have no idea what just happened. That's right. I was trying so hard to not overload. I had some friends watch the Olympics with me yesterday. I was trying so hard to not overload them, and I was going hard. I was like, I'm sorry, please tell me to stop at any time. Oh no. But then she goes and, okay, that's okay. Your base value is super freaking high, so you have room for error. Girl, come on. The spinning animation is so good in the show. Like, that's a little bit something that, like, I feel like goes unnoticed, how perfect they get every position. Girl, come on. Ugh, I feel like I'm watching the Olympics again. I feel for her, because I watched so many skaters pass me up when I was, like, 13. I was struggling so much. And it just, like, it breaks you down. She's got so many negative grade of execution jumps, though. Yep. Triplets. It's just hard to tell the rotation, but it was a lot. Double axel. 10% bonus. Flying camel. Layover. I'm like cheering for all of them. Like I know she's INORI's direct competition, but I'm like, I'm wondering where they're taking this to. Okay, a fall and 2 step outs with the triple Lutz triple loop combo. I mean, she did a much more difficult combo than everyone else, so she made up a lot of the points that she lost on those messy jumps. Just that alone made a statement. I'm getting like stressed here. He's proud of her. You gotta be careful being a rebel when you're doing that, because then you have to make sure you don't accidentally repeat a jump. Oh God, okay. Why am I tearing up? What the heck? It's interesting because I don't know why I'm emotional. Duh! I've only spent 16 episodes with INORI. But the way, and I've called out how fast she's developed to get to this point, right? Like, this is very unnatural development that she's gone through. But these 16 episodes have made me just like so invested in Inori's journey that every time they're like doing these little flashbacks, like, what the heck? Ah! Okay. Take the like skating out of it, which I think like the skating is part of the reason why I feel so like invested and connected to the story, obviously. But just the character writing and the way the story is developing these characters in such a short period of time that we've had is really good. Objectively looking at like character writing, this is really well done. A story that can make you fall in love with these characters so much in such a short period of time is my favorite kind of story. Okay. All right. Now they all know. This has been a very tough competition. There's been doors open because all of the, like, even the girl who's in first, she fell? But I don't know what INORI's planning. They haven't really told us. Okay. So, essentially, that's first, right? Yeah. So, essentially what's going on here, and this kind of correlates to what happened at the Olympics yesterday when Ilya Malinin still won that free skate over Shun Sato, is the base value. So because she did this Lutz loop, this triple combo, she soared ahead of everyone else in base value. So that means that she had this room for error, and she left the door open because there is the fact that, like, whatever Inori's planning, like, I want her to go clean, obviously, but sometimes you just have such a bigger base value that even a different skater who goes perfectly clean just can't catch you. And there's levels to it. Like, I could go really deep into how, like, in the men, it's especially big because you have these quadruple jumps where, you know, if Ilya did 5 quads, Shun did 3. Ilya did 3 of his 5 quads very well, and then 2 of them were, well, one of them was really messy. Maybe it was just one messy quad, and then he, like, did kind of a messy triple loop. So 4 well-done quads. Shun did 3 well-done quads. So Ilya's base value was just that much higher, and they scored them about the same in components. Do I agree with that? No. But I don't think Shun would have been able to close that 6-point gap even if they scored Ilya correctly on components. And even though Ilya was, like, messy, we're seeing all of these people on the internet that, like, don't really watch skating go, like, he obviously messed up, so the guy who didn't should be in first, right? But that's not always the case. So because these base values, there's such a big difference. But when you get to, like, these lower levels, those base values, like, it's not a whole lot different. So suddenly a skater that has a higher base value, if they're messing up, the skater that has a much lower base value can catch up to them because it's a clean program. That's my strategy this time. My base value is lower, but it's only lower by, like, a point, 2 points. So that means that I'm kind of betting on the other skaters to mess up and for me to skate clean, but I know that I can. So, like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do a clean, well-presented skate. So there is, like, in theory, the possibility I could win should, like, the people doing the higher level jumps mess them up. So I'm kind of reliant on people to mess up, but it's a strategy because skating is hard. People mess up. That's part of competition. So she's made, like, the most amount of mistakes of everyone, but I bet it's because, like, the difference between doing a triple Lutz triple loop and a triple Lutz double loop, I'm not looking at the rule book in front of me, but I think the difference is like 3 or 4 points, and she's in first by like a point. So she lost a lot of that lead in the fall and 2 step outs, but it evened out to her still being slightly ahead because of how much higher her base value was. All right, I think we're getting to see Inori skate. At All Japan's, because she's going. Hime. Okay. I have no idea what Inori's planning. They haven't told us, like, what her plan is, so last we saw, she was like just barely landing a triple sow double toe. So Lutz loop is like a triple Lutz triple loop is like the hardest triple combo you can do without having a triple axel. A triple sow double toe is the lowest triple combo you can do without doing a double axel. Like, it's the opposite side of the spectrum. But I maybe missed how long it's been since she landed it, but they haven't really told us. Yep, exactly. Yep, you want to do both. I've never thought about that. GOE is short for grade of execution in English. So you still call it GOE in Japanese, but grade of execution in Japanese is completely different. Interesting. They're getting the details perfectly right. So I started by not pausing, and I've got 15 minutes before my lunch break is over, so I gotta hurry it up. So the grade of execution, the GOE, a lot of people think like it's just plus or minus 5 points because it's plus or minus all the way like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. No, if you get a plus 5 across the board, you get a 50% bonus on the base value of your jump. So if your jump is worth 3 points and you get plus 5s across the board, you get a 1.5 bonus on it. And that's another reason why the skaters with a higher base value can start to pull ahead, because if they do that higher base value performed well, suddenly you're going from a triple sow double toe is worth 5 points, so a perfect 5 across the board would be 2.5 points added, so 7.5 points. But a triple Lutz triple loop that's perfectly executed is, I'm not giving you the exact base value because I don't have the rule book in front of me and I don't have every single thing memorized like that. But so let's say a triple Lutz triple loop is worth 12 points. If you get plus 5s across the board, then you get an added 6 points. So now your jump combo is worth 18 points. So you see that difference. But the triple Lutz triple loop is incredibly hard, so you're taking a chance because you might not perform it well. And then all of a sudden, if you don't perform it well, the same applies negative. You can now get 50% taken off if you fall. So that's where things like, there's just so many little intricate details in the scoring, and they are getting it perfectly right. I've had to explain this a lot over the past few days because people on social media are just like, I don't get it. Okay. I'm like feeling very hot. So INORI should have a higher component scores because she's trained by a ice dancer. They use that to their advantage, yep. But the problem is components max out. Technical score has a much higher ceiling, especially at the Olympic level. Okay, are we gonna learn what his plan is here? She's got a secret weapon. Okay, what is it? You're not gonna, okay, I wanna know. And I'm worried that this is gonna end before I know. This is more nerve-wracking than competing. That would be huge for her, yes. She would, like, no one would be able to ignore her ever again. Okay, what's her secret weapon though? Is this gonna be the end? I'm halfway nervous because I think this is the end of the episode and I don't want it to be. That was in the trailer. No. Do I really? I have to wait. I knew it was probably gonna happen. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. You know what? It's gonna be really exciting because I'm gonna go compete, and then I'm gonna get home, and then I'm gonna watch INORI compete, and I'm just gonna set it up really well for her. Okay, it's fine. I'm fine. I'm not fine. I'm not fine. Okay, I feel very out of sorts today. So that was episode 16. I feel like I got through everything that I wanted to in this episode. Just such a great job at developing another character that we just met and like already being very invested in her and wanting her to do well. Like obviously at the end of the day, I want INORI to do better and I want to freaking know what her secret weapon is. I have to wait. Oh, okay, it's fine, it's fine. I need to stop doing that, otherwise I'm not gonna be able to finish this video. So, secret weapon, she's coached by an ice dancer, so the component score, which is completely separate from the technical score, and the technical score covers the base value and the grade of execution. Components is the second mark, so that's for the composition, that is for the performance, and the skating skills. So, in theory, someone who's coached by an ice dancer should really hone in on that. Now, at the higher levels, the really good component skaters tend to still lose out to the really good jumpers because, especially in like men's figure skating, you have a ceiling on components at 100 points, but you can score 150 points in your technical score, and that's still not the maximum. I think Ilya scored like a 148 in technical at the Grand Prix final. So in INORI's case though, at her level, having a higher component score should absolutely help her. But it kind of looked like Tsukasa was looking at something with her technical score. So I'm really interested to see what the secret weapon is. And I really want to know what happens next, but I have to wait until Monday. It's okay. I'm going to be okay. We're going to make it through. I think that means, didn't INORI compete for the first time in episode 4 of last season? So she's competing for the first time this season in episode 4. Is that going to be a theme? Should I just be prepared for episode 4 of every season to just be like very, very nerve-wracking? So I do have to go to lunch in a few minutes. So I'm just going to throw out there as well, if you are interested in hearing like me talk a lot more about the Olympics specifically, like breaking down, I'm going to do a video soon recapping the team event and kind of breaking down some of the complaints that I'm seeing on the internet, some of the people that are talking about, you know, should Japan have won? Because like all of their single skaters had much better performances, like why did US win? And there's reasons for that. So I wanted to break it down. I do not have time to do that in this video, and I fear a lot of people would check out. So if you are interested in that, make sure you subscribe to my skating channel, which is linked in the description. I'm going to do that video, and I'm also going to do a women's preview for the individual event before I go on my trip for my competition. So those will both hopefully come out this week if I have time. We'll see. But yeah, I don't have anything else to say because I'm a little upset I have to end here, but I can't wait for next week. I'm so excited to see what she does, if she can win. The door seems open because all of the skaters that were doing very high base value did have at least one mistake, maybe two. And of course, the girl who just came in first had like 3 mistakes. So the door is definitely open for INORI. I just don't know what her plan is because they're hiding that detail from us. So I'm gonna end the video there and go scream into a pillow. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment your thoughts, and I will see you all in the next one. Mata ne!